My mom actually smiled when she saw me walk into the courtroom, like she was watching her biggest victory. She really thought I was about to lose everything. But she had no idea what I brought with me that day. Before I continue, make sure you subscribe and share, because what happened next shocked the entire room. I took my seat quietly, keeping my eyes on the judge while my mom whispered something to my aunt, both of them acting like they'd already won. My brother Evan even smirked at me, tapping his pen like he was counting down to my downfall. They all thought Natalie, the quiet one, the one they always pushed aside, was finally trapped. And the worst part? They were confident because they believed I had nothing left to fight with. They didn't know I had spent months building something in silence, something they never expected I'd use against them today. As the judge looked up and called my name, I could feel every eye in that room waiting for me to break, waiting for me to fold just like they predicted. But I wasn't there to fold. I was there to flip everything they thought they controlled. I stood up slowly, and the whole room went strangely quiet, like everyone sensed something was off. Mom's smile didn't fade at first, but her eyes flickered, just for a second, when she saw the folder in my hand. Evan leaned forward, trying to peek, his confidence slipping. They expected me to show up scared, empty-handed, begging the court for mercy. Instead, I walked with the kind of calm that comes only when you know the truth is finally on your side. The judge asked if I had anything to submit, and I placed the folder on his desk without saying a single word. Mom's face changed instantly. The color drained from her cheeks. She knew that look, she had seen it years ago, the same day I quietly walked away from their chaos and started documenting everything they never thought would matter. Texts, emails, bank transfers, statements, all the things they assumed I was too weak or too naive to save. Evan lowered his gaze, rubbing his forehead, whispering, she couldn't have, but I did. And the moment the judge opened that folder, scanning the first page, his eyebrows shot up. The courtroom shifted. Chairs creaked. Mom grabbed the armrest like she was holding on for her life. Because she finally realized she wasn't the one in control anymore. And the next document inside that folder was about to destroy everything they built. The judge flipped to the second page, and that's when the room truly froze. He adjusted his glasses, reread the paragraph, and then slowly lifted his eyes toward my mother. The tension was so heavy you could hear every breath in the courtroom. Mom's hands were shaking now, her perfect posture collapsing inch by inch. Evan kept tapping his leg under the table, like he was trying to wake himself from a nightmare he never expected to see in daylight. What they didn't know was that I had spent the last year gathering every piece of proof of what they'd done, every lie, every hidden transaction, every attempt to corner me. They underestimated me because I was quiet. They never realized quiet people don't panic, they plan. The judge asked Mom to stand. She hesitated. For the first time in my life, I watched the woman who raised me lose her confidence, her eyes darting, lips trembling, searching for an escape that didn't exist. Evan tried to hand her a note, but the bailiff stopped him. She was alone now, with nothing but her own actions staring back at her from the evidence she once thought I was too soft to collect. Then the judge turned to me and said, "Ms. Carter, is there anything else you want to add before I proceed?" Everyone expected me to deliver a speech, to explode with anger or pride. But I just opened my bag, pulled out one more sealed envelope, and placed it on the table, calmly, almost gently. Mom's knees buckled when she recognized the handwriting on the label. Because that envelope came from the one person she never thought would speak up. And what was written inside would take the case from bad to catastrophic. The judge lifted the new envelope carefully, like he already sensed the weight of whatever was inside. Mom's breath hitched, the kind of sound someone makes when their entire world is about to collapse. Evan sat back, shoulders sinking, because he recognized the handwriting too. It belonged to someone they never expected would turn against them, someone they believed they had under control. The judge slid the letter out, unfolded it, and started reading in silence. With every second that passed, the courtroom grew tighter, heavier, almost suffocating. Mom's fingers dug into the wooden table. She wasn't blinking. Her whole body was trembling now, and she kept whispering, no, she wouldn't, but she did. Because the letter was from Aunt Melissa, the only relative who ever treated me like I mattered. And in that letter, she detailed everything she had witnessed over the years, the coercion, the financial manipulation, the decisions my mother made behind closed doors, the lies she fed to the rest of the family to isolate me. She confessed she stayed silent because she was scared, but she couldn't stay silent anymore. The judge placed the letter down slowly, almost deliberately, then stared at my mother like he was seeing her real face for the first time. "Mrs. Carter," he said, voice firm, "these statements are extremely serious. And they align with the evidence your daughter has provided." Mom stumbled backward, gripping the edge of the chair as if she might faint. Evan tried to stand up to defend her, but his lawyer yanked him down, whispering urgently, "Don't make this worse." I didn't move. I didn't speak. I just watched, calmly, as the truth they'd buried for years rose to the surface in front of everyone, and the judge wasn't done yet. He reached for another document, his voice sharpening as he prepared to reveal something even they didn't know was coming. Something that would flip the entire case upside down. The judge tapped the second document, and the entire courtroom froze. Mom leaned forward with shaking hands, desperate to see it, but when he spoke, her knees almost buckled. This, he said, is the updated contract for the company you claim your daughter tried to steal. Mom's face drained. Evan stopped breathing. Because they knew exactly what contract he was talking about, the one they forged behind my back, the one they used to erase my name from our family business, the one they thought I'd never see. But the judge lifted it higher. This version, he continued, was signed by the actual majority owner of the company, and legally notarized 2 months ago. Mom shook her head violently. That's not possible. I'm the owner. No, the judge said. His voice cut the room clean in half. According to this, Natalie Carter owns 62% of the company. And has for months. Silence. Even the air felt stunned. Mom's mouth fell open. Evan grabbed the table like he was about to collapse. Their lawyer pressed his hands together, whispering something that sounded dangerously close to a prayer. I finally stood up. My voice was calm, too calm. I bought the shares quietly, I said. From the board members you fired last year. The ones you thought would never side with me. Mom staggered back like she'd been slapped. You planned this? For years, I said. While you mocked me. While you pushed me out. While you told everyone I was a failure. The judge straightened his glasses. Case dismissed. And Mrs. Carter, from this point forward, you answer to your daughter. Mom's smile, the one she wore when I first walked into the courtroom, was gone. Completely gone. Evan stared at me like he didn't even know who I was anymore. And for the first time in my life, I walked out of that courtroom with them watching me from behind, not as the weak one. Not as the outcast. But as the woman who rebuilt herself in silence, and changed everything in one moment.